Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to show you a tangle that I believe is called Tupuk. I'm not exactly sure if that's the right pronunciation, but it was created by Ria Matheussen, a CZT. If you have ever gone to tanglepatterns.com, you can look up any of these tangles and it gives you the history of who made them and why they chose the name. And this one is a great story. It's combining two words and it involves stone stacking and ancient directional tools. It's really a cool story. So anyway, we're going to call it Tupuk by Ria Matheussen. Okay, I'm using a 2" by 2" tile from Zentangle.com called the Bijou tile. I'm using a Micron PN, plastic nib pen. I also have my 03 to do a little bit of detail work today. I have a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for shading and a tortillion for blending. All you really need is a pen, a pencil, and some paper. You don't need all these fancy tools. If you would like these tools, they're available on Zentangle.com. You can also visit my website, my Facebook page, Let's Tangle. Okay, let's get started. So to make this one, I'm going to start with a pencil and I'm going to make 4 dots, 1 in each corner. And then I'm going to connect those dots with just a very light line. These lines can be wiggly, they do not need to be straight. And then I'm going to pick up, well, I'm going to keep my pencil, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to keep my pencil a little bit longer. Okay, so this is an interesting tangle because it's repeatable, it's a pattern, but it's also kind of free form, kind of hard to explain. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to start with my light pencil and I'm going to put in 5 or 6 lines. Of different sizes. As you can tell, mine are not straight. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my pen and we're going to start making what I think look like little stone shapes. So kind of a tower of stones, but with some space in between. I really love this tangle. I just discovered it and I think it's so pretty. So I'm just going to start putting in some little stones, round ones, oval ones, different shapes. And then I'm going to do the next line, and I can have them be a little bit varied. And you can change up the sizes. I find this part so relaxing, just making shapes that don't matter. And the size of the lines doesn't really matter either. But try to think about making some really small and some larger ones. I kind of stick to a triangular shape, circles and ovals, and then just kind of squares that are a little bit off or crooked. And then in between each of these, I've got my little pencil line. I'm just going to draw 2 lines, one on each side of that pencil line, connecting these little stone shapes together. Nice and thin. I could even switch to a smaller pen now if I wanted to. I really love this tangle. It's so cute. Feel free to add more shapes if you end up with too big of a gap. So if you look this up, you can see all of her variations, and she has beautiful variations where she curves the lines and puts these little shapes on them. She also does it. This is more of a mono tangle. It's just by itself, but she shows how to use it with other tangles and filling in areas. And it's really beautiful and has so many variations. Okay, I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to ink in my border. Again, does not have to be straight. And I'm going to pick up my thin, my 03, even an 01 might be better for this. But just something a little bit thinner to do my details. So here's kind of the fun part. We get to fill in these little stone shapes with anything we want. So I tend to pick a pattern. So let's see, maybe I'm going to do just some little curvy lines. And once I pick that, I find 2 or 3 of these shapes to do it on. It looks like candy corn. And then I'm going to do a little aura on the inside of a few of these. Like that. And a little crack. And not every one of them has to have a pattern in it, so just pick a few that you like. Could do a bigger stripe. Make it diagonal. And then a couple of them I'm going to fill in with a lot of dark ink. So on this one up here, I'm going to leave a little space in the middle and I'm going to color in that outside. Like that. I'm going to do that to this one here. Just so I've got some of this dark ink on different places around my tile. And up here. And this one I'm going to leave a little space up in that corner, not for any reason, but just because. Put a little reflection marks in there. So now that I've got this done, If I want to, or if you want to, we can add some more coming down this way. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple more in there. And I'm just going to add a few little shapes coming down. Put in those lines. And then put in some patterns. Okay, now that I've got that done, I'm going to pick up my graphite pencil and do a little bit of shading. So the first shading I'm going to do is I'm going to put some on the inside of my whole frame. So touching that line. And then take my tortillion, my blending tool. Just pushing it out a little bit. Look at how that's already changing the tile. Giving it some depth. Okay, now I'm going to take, these are really hard to shade because they're so tiny, but I'm just going to put a little bit on the inside edge of each shape. Unless it has a lot of ink, then I don't need to. So just putting a little bit on the inside edge is going to make each of these have a little bit of dimension and not look so flat. So I don't need a lot of blending. Just softening those edges so it doesn't look like a line. This would look really pretty done in colors. There we go. Just like that. Kind of simple, kind of fun, and really cute. I love it. Last thing we do is we add our initials. And on the back of your tile, put the date, put the name of the tangle, and write one little sentence of a journal entry. And that's it. I can see myself making this a lot. I really love this one. Look up the story on tanglepatterns.com if you want to know more about it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.